Hello gentlemen, and welcome back to some more of Combat Mission Pbem, linking up and breaking out. This part. You know what, I don't want to say anyone does too much, but more the Germans get some lucky shots in, like pass through a tiny little slit. A lot of people die, a lot of people scream, not much happens on the American sector. We spot some things, stuff happens. Honestly, probably not the coolest round. This seems like an intermittent one. All the plans have been made, they're all being executed. The Poles are screaming for their lives, but that's pretty normal anyway. Probably just wind up moving a few people up into defensive positions and all that. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch the Poles. First thing you'll note is that 3rd platoon moving up pretty well. And almost immediately the Poles' bad luck continues. As the German half-track pops one straight through the window and kills the driver, and 2 men in the half-track, freaking out everyone inside. But, in happier news, a mortar lands directly next to one of the bigger threats over here. And manages to knock him moderately out. Plus, it's ranged, so the mortar can start flopping into there. Give these men a decent fighting chance. Meanwhile, if they move up, Germans move to that building and our men move up here. They immediately take fire though, and start to be serious. These guys spot some troops from over there, and once again the Germans prove to be extraordinarily lucky with their gunfire. And as we return fire, we touched out 2 gents at once, including the section's light machine gun. Basically, I'd say like quartering the squad's firepower as the Germans advance from over there. All in all, not a great day for the Canadians, or the Poles. But the smoke is being moderately effective. We just have to get these headquarters back up into there. But pushing this little area has turned into a hell of a deadlock. It's basically going to wind up being up to 3rd platoon to not only break the deadlock, but also hold the line at this point. We may even wind up pulling the mortars back off the line and trying to hold a bowl right around here, just to keep the Poles alive, as I believe the Poles should be getting some tanks sometime in the next 5 minutes. So the Poles' main objective right now has gone from doesn't seem right. Has gone from cutting the road and occupying this forward position to maybe a delaying action, as it looks like there's a major German counterattack coming this way and this way. Also, further evidence to this, and further evidence for the potential success of 3rd platoon, the American 3rd platoon's plan, is seen via this one lucky spot, a squad in 3rd platoon. Here we see a German infantryman stand up and run away from what is a supposed defensive position along the north. Quite possibly rushing troops meant to keep this flank secure that way, to hold both the bridge and here against the not superior Polish forces, but against a Polish push, which must be draining them considerably. Also, the Americans have encountered extremely light resistance coming up to the bridge initially, giving hope that I might be able to break through the bridge rather quickly, and if not break through the bridge quickly, at least establish a foothold, which will be enough to distract the Germans from pushing over. Either way, the state of Polish affairs is such that, well, they're probably not going to be there for a while. You guys can see them. probably have these guys put some fire on it while we rush the first section, the remainders of first section, back over to there, along with second section's main detachment to try and hold whatever line they exist in. Just in case the Jerry's try and sneak that way and come around our far left flank. The first section is also here to provide some fire support. Looks like they're moving down that way. All in all, this has turned into kind of a gigantic rest. And the Germans are rapidly retaking their ground. The Poles are in desperate need of some armored support of any kind, facing such harsh German resistance. Oh yeah, and the guys in this Jeep got taken out. So these guys, who were initially supposed to just kind of hang out and get that guy better, tried to jump in the Jeep, immediately spotted a Panzer II, and being the balls and motherfuckers they are, immediately decided to try to duke it out. They they force him to duck, before they pick a fight with the wrong half track. They miss everything, but they hit him once. He takes that insult apart and nails the driver, and then also the gunner. 2 quick bursts. Meanwhile, over here, second platoon rushes up as we start to cross the road. And I mean, they booked it into the school. There's a lot of second platoon. If there had been any artillery fire, it would be extremely dangerous to do this, but, well, it is. Meanwhile, the engineers over here got a ton of suppressing fire down onto that house, along with that demo. And our, around here somewhere. There he is. He rushes up and comes to set some order along the way. So they'll get that thing set up eventually, and that'll be super awesome. Meanwhile, the assault hold victory was great. First squad manages to move up without encountering further problems, and the intense suppressive rifle everyone on the river right style. And our Greyhound moves up. There's some mortar around here somewhere. Throwing a fire down. Okay, so the Greyhound's over there. Not even shy of that either. Kind of impressive. And you can see the poles over there. Meanwhile, second squad just starting its assault on the bridge. Getting 2 riflemen and a bazooka up there. I think we'll also have a third squad assault this side of the bridge soon. Third squad will try and force across Sioux. Anyway, that's about it. Oh yeah, and their platoon moves up to here really quickly. As for people present on this bank, don't believe there's many. If there are, we'll find them, fix them, fuck them up. I love my improper tactic. These guys have run out of ammunition, so it's tempting to just dismount them and have them charge. Actually. Second squad's gonna go there. Alright, your new orders are for second squad. These guys attempt to blow all of our cover and dismount. And acquire a bunch of 45 caliber and 30 caliber rounds. You gents are going on an adventure. It's an adventure called The Wonders of Scouting. It almost sounds like Boy Scouts, but more guns. So I guess we'll go ahead and assault like that. Have them assault like that. And you can just go hang out over here. I want you to hold for like 45 seconds there, to a minute. Actually, 45 seconds is probably proper. Minute works. We'll have you hunt across. Once we get across the river, enforce. I think we have enough vegetation cover. Though there's a chance that those half-tracks and other could do stuff to us. Actually, I don't want him to stop on the bridge. I want him to get the hell over the bridge. Because a busted tank on a bridge can really upset my plan. Other than that, not too much extra goes into this. 30 caliber M2, yeah, they've got enough. These guys have enough. These guys definitely have enough. Too much to it. Nope. Go ahead and clear that target. Maybe move him up to here. Give him a face that way. See if he can spot anything crazy. I want you to start targeting that area of light, since I think we've already got them suppressed like hell. Still got that nice mortar barrage going down the road. It might be that he's actually trying to redirect courses around the road that way and come around that way. Could be that the pole, one of the reasons why the poles are getting slapped so hard. But the continual pushing from even this direction leads me to believe that he may be over-focusing on the Polish, which isn't exactly unwelcome. I mean, if we're going to compare the firepower of the two sides, the United States, I believe, is currently dwarfing Poland, because though Poland has the mortars, the United States just has automatic weapons, and everyone has them. Or automatic or semi-automatic weapons. Like, in a firefight, we will probably win. I think he's relying on the tanks to hold the bridge. Which I think we can, bust that up. Especially if he tries to push in with armored vehicles. The United States has a lot of organic anti-armor capability. Plus we have that, sweet, armor in the north. Armor in the north, no, the extra people over here. Jesus, brain. And we'll bring our mortars down here and do something with them at some point. No, we'll bring them over here so they don't get shot by MG42 hanging out in the building, which may or may not exist anymore. Who knows? I'll also have this guy stop shooting, and we'll make sure these guys are going to deploy that weapon. Yep. Alright, and once they get up here, we'll cross here, and they'll scout. Honestly, probably to right here, because it gives them a good overview of that building and that building. Okay, so places that want a machine gun. Probably right about here. Right about here. Maybe one over here. I don't know. We'll get around. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. I believe that chicken has flown the coop. Yeah, we put a bit of gratuitous amount of firepower on those guys. Plus, it's kind of exposing the Exo Squad a bit to what looks like a Panzer II. Don't know about you, but powers of command typically must yield 2 powers of 20mm explosive shells entering through your window. Which, though the chain of command is great, it is just a chain, it is not a high explosive shell, and should not be used to combat tanks. In fact, when combating tanks, one should use armor-piercing shells and not high explosive at all. And definitely don't use chains, because though chains are heavy and make wonderful weapons for personnel, armor should not be confused with a soft target. It is a very, very, very hard target. Some might even say the hardest target. Those people, maybe porn stars. And, just bust your ass in there. Let's see if we can't set up some sort of pseudo-defensive line. And you guys just shoot up that house. I'm sure no one's in it except for Germans, who we don't care about anyway. And 5th platoon will get down there. And 3rd section will get into that half track, which we'll use to get around. Because they get around. Yep. I'm about 10 years too early with this game. I guess we'll bring these guys around this way to do some stuff somewhere. We'll find a use for them. Even if that use is just dying in a cornfield. There's enough smoke here for a while. Cool. Target smoke on everywhere. Please. There's smoke in there. Can I get some smoke on this building? Could you put some smoke on right there? We'll just fill this entire orchard with smoke. I want everything done inside here to be completely invisible to the enemy. And their bullets, because everyone knows you can't shoot bullets through smoke. And that's just such a comforting thought to me in times like these. That smoke is like deployable cover. Also, I really like SS uniforms, and I feel really bad about it sometimes. Because I'm like, the Wehrmacht is the only people who you could possibly even manage to make yourself feel slightly cool with supporting. Well, not supporting, but you know. Maybe playing as? Then you look at the SS and you're like, but they've got super camouflaged helmets, and super camouflaged bedrolls, and all kind of matches, and then they have the nice nifty smocks. So I'm just gonna pretend these guys are really snazzy Wehrmacht troops. And, you just go with that information and you figure out what you wish. What do you mean you guys can't see down here? What is there to not see? Please don't kill me for that pun, I didn't mean to. For I am but a sinner in the hands of an angry god. An angry pun god. Now if I put smoke rounds over here, we won't be able to see what's going on over there either. And that's fine, because if I can't see the enemy, they don't exist. And that's what the Poles need right now. A big break from existence. Well, I mean, I suppose that's technically what they're getting. Kind of. And here we have the freaked out remnants of the entire company. But yeah, to be honest, not too much to add here. Get the company commander to move up into the school so that he can also share the responsibility of being in the line of fire. But yeah, not exactly a lot to add. About the time the Poles get tanks, we should start that crossing. I'm giving these guys about another minute to move into position, plus a minute to set up the river crossing, plus 3 minutes to get across the river. That's 5 minutes. And maybe 5 minutes to actually fight their way across the river if they encounter any resistance at all. I'll probably bring M8 over. Plus we gotta get that scouting mission done, so add another minute, so I'm gonna give them around 8 to 10 minutes to actually get across the river and up here. So that'll cut it down to like 20 minutes? No, 29 minutes, which will be about halfway through. Hopefully at some point he'll start pulling troops off the line to try and escape. And the Poles will have to do something about that. Let's see, how open are the fields here? I mean, is that a fence? It is a fence. Is that a fence? And there's a fence here. Okay, we're extraordinarily clever, and the Poles were doing extremely well. I would be tempted to shove a Cromwell through here, through this fence, and then navigate my way down this narrow-ass hedgerow. Come out here, pop out, link up with the Americans, and push down the road into here like a giant, really ungainly sword thrust. But instead, I think we're just going to go something like beep, beep, come across this side, pop around over here, kill all the Germans over here, come around here, kill all the Germans here, also secure this entire area like a boss. At this point, the Americans will have cleared out this entire area of everyone, or the Cromwells can just circle around because they're a cavalry tank and they're fast. Like, basically all we have to do is break through into this little area, and we've got a nice open-esque, I mean, it's an orchard, so it's not as bad as a forest. A forest will get in your way because the trees are all random. An orchard, they're all in nice little spaces, so you can drive between the spaces, which is great. It's almost like the perfect kind of woodline for tank, in my opinion. Because you can just put a tank in between the trees, and now you can't shoot as much of the tank. And so we'll then probably flank around, and we'll link up with the Americans somehow. We can even pop in here. There's a wealth of tactical situations and solutions. And if we pop in here, we'll just shoot our way through the wall. I'm really excited for 3rd Platoon. I think that they might be able to pull this off. If they can pull it off, we win. If they don't pull it off, we push across the diver and defend wall. And all the while knowing that there's a small force up here. So I think we'll push across with 2 squads to start it off. We'll bound it. We'll have 1 squad held in reserve so we don't kill all of 3rd Platoon if the plan goes completely tits up. Because, you know, it would really suck to be in 3rd Platoon if everyone died. Scouts probably will get shot by someone. Maybe. If there's someone there, hopefully they'll at least get shot at. Which feels weird to say, but, you know. Much prefer they get shot at rather than the giant mass of 40 men coming up behind them. This is why it's good to be an officer, by the way. How long does your fire mission last for? 4 more minutes. That means they should get freed up in time to put some fire somewhere else when they need it. Which, God knows, someone's going to need it at some point. The Poles are starting to get really hammered. How many mortars do I have? Oh yeah, that's right, I got the whole bunch of mortars over here. Once we get those deployed, which we could really just deploy them wherever they are right now. Yeah, but they're so close to doing it. I think we'll just let the mortars set up. And then we'll give the Poles, Poles will get fire priority on the first 3 mortars. We'll probably have them put a barrage down right here as they pull back to right about here-ish. Because it looks like the Germans are getting into real tight clusters there anyway. Actually, what do we see here? Also, are these guys actually SS? Nope, they don't have the SS thingy Madoohickeys. Yep, no, totally not SS. I don't feel bad about looking at their uniforms anymore. And they can totally see these guys. Who can totally see them. It's possible that he's covering the bridge from here. Should be interesting. But I bet we can move up without having too much of a problem. Besides, the Americans should be able to drive them off with their just firepower. Because American firepower is awesome. Fire is money, and money conquers all. Anyway, I've been your Commander Tomato. That's basically the general plan of the whole thing. Push through in two fronts, pincer attack down the Framboise, the Poles get punched. But that's pretty much what Poland does in World War II anyway. I think that's also how the Polish Armored Division basically got their way through all their objectives. Was they just kind of bloodily hammered themselves against it until they won. So not too far from the truth with the Poles there. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next part, where I guess we'll cross a bridge. The Poles will get shot at, and the Americans will get closer to getting their feet wet, which will really be kind of annoying in the post-battle. Provided they're not dead. That would also be annoying. More so, likely. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next part. I've been your Commander Tomato. Yeah, let me know if you guys are liking this stuff. I'm really loving doing this, and I think it's like part 12? Maybe? 13? Anyway, it's tons of fun, and I'm loving it. We're on turn 15, so part 15, you should see some tanks, I think, just from the briefing. So yeah, let me know how you guys like this, if you guys like this style. I'm tempted to do a single-player game like this, but I don't really know, and I have a tendency to want to push the button really bad when I'm in single-player. When I'm in multiplayer, I can't, so it's fun because it limits me. So I get real in-depth to come up with intricate plans. I just think I play multiplayer a little bit better. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next part. Until then, I've been your Commander Tomato. I've said this 3 times now, but this is the final one. Good day.